Hello and welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a bonus video. I was sick with COVID last week, and so I didn't put out as much content as I usually do. So I wanted to give you guys some bonus content this week, and I figured we could go over some of the popular altcoins, things like DOGE and SHIB, XRP, Cardano, and some of the others. So let's just get into it. And you can see starting off, fear and greed, still up in elevated greed. We'll see if we make a higher low or a lower low here, but right now we're stuck between this range, and I'm not fully convinced that we've truly gone to the upside and that we still don't have another possible flush in the market waiting to happen. But if greed does break above 67, then I think we can feel a little bit better about that. What's important to note also with altcoins, like the ones we're going to look at today, is that when Bitcoin dominance rips down, that's when our altcoins do great, and that's when you're looking to take profit. And you can see that reflected here in the alt season chart. We haven't had any of these major spikes on the alt season index yet. So until we do, we might still be in good accumulation time for many of those alts. Earlier today, talked about the Bitcoin rainbow chart, so subscribe if you want to hear more content about my thoughts surrounding the Bitcoin cycle. And before we truly jump into some of these altcoins that we're going to talk about today, Bitcoin on the daily, we've gone, 13 days up, and now we have one red day down. So that's about where we are at for Bitcoin today. So if we continue down, you want to see support somewhere around 61K or 61.5. So let's start off by taking a look at some altcoins. These might be available on Coinbase or Robinhood. And first, we're going to start off by looking at XRP. So XRP, we did break above this downtrend. You can see right here reflected in the weekly. And is it staying above that? So far, so good. So XRP breaking above that downtrend. It could still settle here at the 382 at around 60 cents and stay there. You can see right here where the ticker's at. So could still settle in at that 382 area. But if XRP starts to form a base here, then the next area to get above would be this 0.5 at about 75 cents. So as far as XRP predictions, something to keep in mind, guys, and I'm going to keep saying this until it's proven wrong, is that for many altcoins that did very well in 2017, the next cycle in 2021, many of the altcoins such as XRP, Bitcoin Cash, the price only got up to the macro 786. So you can see here after XRP made a high at around 350, the 786 was at about $1.60, and you can see it got to $1.95, so just a little bit above the macro 786. So if that's going to happen again this time around, if XRP isn't able to get a new high, and I'm talking above $1.95, let's just say $2 rounded up. If XRP can't get above $2 and it settles in somewhere at around, I don't know, $1.50 to $1.30, then guys, I think you have to admit that XRP maybe isn't as good of a project as many people tell you that. It's going to be worth $10,000 per XRP. I don't believe that, but some people do. You want to be realistic with your price predictions. So if you do have XRP, if you got in any bit down here, maybe worth just, something to think about. People have good strategies on when to buy in. As far as when to take some profits, maybe you can get your return on initial investment around here and then play with house money. And hopefully, for any of you investors, hopefully it does go higher, but also consider market cap and how high you think any of these altcoins might go. Next, let's go over to Chainlink. Chainlink is one of my favorite altcoins. I do like this one a lot. And the peak of last cycle in May of 21 got up to 52, 53 bucks. We had this little bull run here where it got a little bit above 20. Got down to this 236 area at about 860. Kind of sucks that it wasn't able to retest it again. But you can see here it has this ascending trend line, and it's been in love with getting back above the 382 as well as these daily moving averages. the 100-day and the 50-day, and the 100-day moving average is right there at about the 382 here at 12 bucks. So if Link is able to stay here, then you would imagine that it would be challenging that 0.5 fib at around 16 bucks. So me personally, I was hoping Link would come back down and test this fib again at 860. You can see if you were mapping out macro fibs, there must have been some large buyers in here, and they scooped that right up, and we have not seen Link get back anywhere really under 9 bucks and 30 cents over there. So Link would like to see it come a little bit lower, but guys, again, as far as price predictions go, we want to see it get above the 786, and you guys can do this. If you draw a macro fib high to low, you take your fib off log scale, and then you look at some of the extensions. So the 1618 at 82, a buck 30, we could have Chainlink maybe even getting, I think this would be the most bullish scenario, the 3618 and the 4236, somewhere around 200. So could Link do somewhere close to a 20x? I'd say in absolute best case scenario. I'm not saying it is going to happen, but best case scenario, that's what I would be looking for. And if it was a 20x, then you're looking at something around, we're rounding here, but somewhere around $140 billion at its peak. So we'll see. Let's go over to Doge. I know we have a couple subscribers that really like Doge, and let's see where Doge is at right now. So again, market cap, guys, market cap's always changing. It's evolving, especially organically as far as with inflation and all things are concerned. But you have to remember that when Doge was at 74 cents here, the market cap was around 100 billion. And so I've seen some videos talking about $10 Doge. And, if you believe that, then you believe Doge is going to have over $1 trillion market cap. And frankly, I just don't see that happening this time around. So again, we can do the whole thing where you take the fib off log scale and take a look at some of those extensions as far as certain price targets. So the 1618, the 2618, we're talking about Doge doubling its value from last time. If it was at 100 billion market cap here at 74 cents, then you double that somewhere around $1.50. Then could Doge be worth 200 billion? I'm not sure I buy that as much. I'm worried about Doge. This is just my personal opinion. By the way, I've accumulated some Doge down here at these lower levels, but I am worried about Doge going the way of XRP. The way XRP, Bitcoin Cash, many other altcoins in 2017 did so well, I showed you how they only got to the macro 786 in 2021. I am worried about Doge with how much hype was behind it in 21 being the next version of that. And, so Doge at that 41 cent level, that's going to be my first target, and I will be taking my return on initial investment there. And hey, I own some Doge. I hope it can go higher, but just in case it doesn't, at least get your return on initial investment back and recoup some losses. Maybe you're only getting a 3x overall with your Doge portfolio. So that's just something I'm looking for right here. Let's also talk about current price. We haven't done that with Doge yet. So you can see, kind of like we talked about with Chainlink, got down to the 236 here at around 9 cents or so. Started to get up towards the 382 and then found some weakness. So Doge recently did get to 13 cents, is coming back down. You can see these daily moving averages. It wicked all the way down to the 100. So should price stabilize down here, maybe you can, well, actually that's right where it's at right now. Sometimes this red dotted line up here kind of throws you off a little bit, but here at the 11 cent range, or even if it gets under in the 10 cent range, if you like Doge, I think that's something to consider. And something else, just eyeballing this right here, you can just draw a line in these peaks, and Doge has broken out of that downtrend. So it's okay if it tests the peaks, and that's why I have the moving averages too, because usually it comes down and tags those moving averages. You see the candle above the 200-day and the wick down to the 100-day. So it's okay if it challenges these. What you don't want to see happen is get back under the trend line to this 236. You want to see it stay at or above the trend line and then eventually get back up to the 382. Speaking of 2017 coins, let's take a look at Cardano. And Cardano, last time it did make a newer high, I believe. Does it have it on here? Not quite. It does go back further. But I want to say Cardano got to like $1.50. Sometimes I think you have to go to the one where it's, paired with the dollar. So Cardano got up to $1.40. Now here you can see we took it off log scale. And where did Cardano get to? Well, it got between the 1618 and the 2618, almost to the 2618 at 358. Got close to there. It got to 316. So, as far as Cardano this time around, getting between the 1618 and 2618. Personally, I'd be eyeing the former all-time high to the 1618 as the bullish price target. So, the 1618 is at about $5. So should Cardano get between $3.20 and $5, I would say that would be a good area to look to take some profits if you are in some Cardano. And as far as where it's at right now, when we draw our macro fib, and you do this between the high and the prior high and low, when we're between those prices, you see Cardano is showing some weakness. So had the 200-day moving average right at the 236, got up there, got smacked back down. It is finding some support. We do have these higher lows here, so it's becoming do or die times pretty soon here for Cardano. And should it get another bounce and retest this again, maybe on the second or third try, Cardano can get above 40 cents. But guys, if Cardano is a project you like, if you've done your research, you really like Cardano, and you see that value here, this is deeper value. Now, the other way to look at this is when you look at other charts, for example, like Solana, those charts don't show as much weakness because there's more volume. There's more people putting into those. So do know it's kind of a double-edged sword here. Could you be getting deeper value? Yes. Yes, you could be. But there's a reason for that, and that's because people aren't putting as much money into this coin as they had before. It's not as popular or leading of a coin as it's been before. So just something to keep in mind with these cryptos. All because they get way down here does not mean they have to run as hard as they've done in prior cycles. Like we talked about with XRP and some of these other ones. Again, not saying they're not good projects, but maybe the potential for 10, 20Xs, if that's what you're looking for, isn't quite there. Now, deeper value, sure. Maybe you'd be able to find some of that. And if you believe Cardano is going to get back to its all-time high at around 320, that's considerable multiplier. But I'd be taking a look even at that 786 as well. Let's take a look at SHIB. I was reading about SHIB being in the news lately, and I can see why. So again, kind of like DOGE, you can see how it broke through this downtrend here. We can line up the peaks if we want, or the candle bodies. Really doesn't make a difference. I guess that seems to align better, but broke up underneath that descending trend line, the lower highs, and tried to get to the 0.5 at around, you see that 2.2 right there. It's coming back down. It looks like it wants to come down to the 200-day moving average at the very least. So after this sizable move, it is getting somewhat of a correction. And let's see, let's just throw on a mini fib from where this move started. And so we can draw from the low to the high. And what you guys see right there is it came back down, tested off the 382. So, sometimes off the 382 or the 0.5, you can see a nice healthy bounce. If it gets under that 618, which is right by the, I'm going to erase this quick. If it gets above that 618, which is right at the macro 382 here, then I'd say, this could be a fake out move. So just something to keep in mind. Trying to think of any other altcoins you guys like to take a look at or have commented on before. I think that pretty much does it. But anyways, just wanted to give you guys some bonus content. Appreciate you all being patient. Thanks for the nice comments and some of the other videos. And yeah, let me know what altcoins you guys are into, what price predictions you have for any of these. Do you think I'm crazy for believing that some of these popular altcoins of the past might not do so well? Or do you think there is much more upside to come for any of these projects. And again, I encourage you guys to, try to share your opinion in an educated way. So a lot of people, they get into the cult of these crypto projects, and they just spew the company line, so to say. They just say what everyone else is, and they regurgitate all the good things. Again, all that's fine and good, but price action is what matters here. And it's not about necessarily being right or wrong, but it's about making money. And one reason we look at charts in this way is to try to find better value and make more money for these altcoins. I do want to take a look at one more, actually, because we've talked about a couple meme coins. Let's take a look at Bonk, because Bonk's been one where got listed on Coinbase not too long ago. You can see here we have this downtrend. I do wonder if the way DOGE and SHIB were the leading meme coins last time around, if this time it's going to be stuff like Pepe and Bonk, even though I don't think Pepe's on Coinbase yet. I could be wrong. But Bonk, you can see it's challenging that trend line, only wicked above, but it's at that 618 at the 237. So if it's able to get above and stay above there, that'd be pretty good. I could form a nice little base here at the 618. So as far as where Bonk got up to before, is doubled that value. But again, you want to consider market cap. And myself personally, as I've made a plan for these, kind of the way I'm looking at this is, the top 10 altcoins by market cap, I'm looking for a number around 400 to 500 billion at best. And I'm thinking maybe one or two coins might get there. I'm not talking about Ethereum, but something like Solana, maybe one of these other altcoins, who knows, but 400, I'll even say 300 to 500 billion, somewhere in there for the absolute best altcoins outside of Ethereum. But as we get underneath that, remember what I told you, Doge at best got to about 100 billion, so maybe if there's altcoins, sort of the second tier that does very good, you'd be hoping for that 1 to 200 billion dollar market cap, and you can reverse calculate from there. I think we talked about Chainlink, if it did a 20x, it'd be around 140 billion dollars. So if any of these altcoins you believe, Near Protocol, some people really like that one. If you believe any of these altcoins might be in that second tier up where they get between the 100, 200 billion market cap, again, divide that by where it is right now, multiply that times the price, and you can look at some of those Fib extensions and see, does this make sense or not? Fetch, that's one that a lot of people like. Heck, it has AI in the name, so people are very hyped up on that. Internet computer, it's another one. Caspa, there's Pepe. So Pepe, do you believe that one could do a Doge? Well, if Pepe can pull a Doge, remember a Doge got to around 100 billion. You're talking about this doing somewhere around a 30x, give or take. So, that's what happened with Doge last time. Is that going to be Pepe this time around? Just something to think about with these altcoins. So anyways, let me know in the comments below, what altcoins do you like, not like, and if so, maybe where are your price targets for some of these. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys had a great Monday. Take care.